So, good afternoon. I'm Kim Yumi from KLC. Nice to meet you all. So, those who are present, the heads of states of KALSC and educators and public officials, UNESCO officials, I really welcome all of you. In particular, Busan is surrounded by mountains and the ocean. It is a really beautiful city. So it is very meaningful to host the International Forum in Busan. In the era of climate crisis, under the theme of global ideas for a healthy city and the practical direction of a learning city, how will you live, everyone? The event was held yesterday in Gwangmyeong City and is held today in Busan County. So once again, I'd like to express my gratitude to Mayor Hyun and public officials. Thank you. In addition, today's forum, we provide interpretation service. So if you want to use this service, please use the receiver on your table. Korean channel is number 1, English channel is number 2. And also, our forum is broadcast live through the YouTube channel. Also, you can download the materials. And public officials of lifelong learning of Jeollabuk-do province. However, this is not enough space for everyone, so many join us through online. So we'd like to start the International Forum. This forum is hosted by UNESCO UIL and KALLC, and also organized by Gwangmyeong City and Busan County. In addition, it is sponsored by the Ministry of Education, EBS, and Korean Mayor Associations. So in earnest, let us begin the International Forum on Lifelong Learning Series in collaboration with the UNESCO UIL. Despite your busy schedule, these guests are here with us. I would like to introduce them one by one. Please welcome them with a big round of applause. First of all, I'd like to introduce Mayor Hyun of Busan. Please welcome him with a big round of applause. The chairperson of the UNESCO World Health Education Committee, Didier Jourdan, is here with us. Please welcome him with a big round of applause. Next, Miss Marie Macaulay of UNESCO UIL. Please welcome her with a big round of applause. Now, I'd like to introduce the distinct guests in the clockwise. So, I'd like to introduce Mr. Alex Hawes of UNESCO UIL. And also, the Miss Esther Kimani from Kenya, Nairobi City is here with us. Please welcome her with a big round of applause. And the Miss Sarah Valencia of England UCL University is here with us. And she is the center of Bogota, Colombia. And Professor Gonita of Jongbu University is here with us. Please welcome him with a big round of applause. And I would like to introduce the heads of institutions one by one. Mr. Kim Mi-gam, the mayor of Seogu, Gwangju-gangyeok province, is here with us. Please welcome him with a big round of applause. And Mayor Kim Bora of Ansan City, Gyeonggi Province is here with us. Welcome her. Mayor Choi Won-chul of Gwangju, Chungcheon South Province is here with us. Welcome him with a big round of applause. And Mayor Kim Mi-kyung of Eunpyeong District, Seoul, is here with us. Welcome her with a big round of applause. And Superintendent Choi Geum-hee and the chairman of Park Seung-won will arrive soon. So lifelong learning officials and public officials, please wave your hands. Welcome you. Next, there will be a welcoming speech by Mayor Kwon Ik-hyun of Busan. So he will deliver the speech on his seat. Good afternoon, I'm Kwon Ik-hyun. Good afternoon. Nice to meet you all. I'm Kwon Ik-hyun, Mayor of Busan County. Despite your busy schedule, thank you for attending the 2023 International Forum on Lifelong Learning Cities in collaboration with the UNESCO UIL. KALSC officials, UNESCO officials, and distinguished professors and lifelong learning officials. I really welcome all of you. Pyeongsan has a really beautiful reddish sunset. So it is very meaningful to host the International Forum in Pyeongsan. In addition, I'd like to express my gratitude to UNESCO officials and KALC officials for preparing for this event. In line with the rapidly changing future society, to flexibly respond to those changes, we have to learn. Lifelong learning and individual capacity building and finding joy in learning, they are not an option but mandatory. Now people live until 100 years old, so each country is making effort to provide a good quality lifelong learning environment. Early on, Busan County has been making effort to provide lifelong learning opportunity to every resident, anytime, anywhere. So we have had really lots of interest and attachment to it. Therefore, in 2017, Busan was designated as a lifelong learning city, and we conducted a survey, and we are making efforts to provide resident-tailored lectures and lifelong learning center building, and to become global lifelong learning city. We are doing our best. In particular, Bara Youth School Operation, Learning Center for Everyone, Global Online Classroom, and the Dream One Academy Operation. These programs are loved by our residents. In addition, to provide a broader, better lifelong learning environment, we are doing real making efforts in various fields. I hope this is serve as the venue to share best practices and provide a new vision to vitalize the lifelong learning. Once again, ladies and gentlemen who attend this seminar, I would like to express my gratitude. So now it's getting cold, so be careful of not to catch a cold. I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much for your wonderful congratulatory remarks, Governor Kwon Ik-hyun. Now we're going to have a welcoming remarks. The joint organizer, UNESCO UIL, Mai Mugli, is going to provide a congratulatory remarks. You can stay there and then provide the remarks. Please give her a round of applause.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for welcoming us in Busan City for the first time. And I'm very pleased again to see all of our colleague mayors that we've worked with for the past few years. It's a true honor to be here after yesterday's event where we gathered expert presentations on the topic of health and the future of health inside learning cities as well as cities around the world. We were quite enlightened by some of the interesting findings and insights on the global health front, as well as on what was included in the launch in the guideline for learning for health at the local level. So I think today we'll have a broader discussion on the current developments underway in the context of learning cities around Korea, and I'm really looking forward to learning from you today, as well as sharing some insights as to what the learning cities of UNESCO are up to on the topic of ESD, which is one of the main focus areas we've been discussing in the past while, and which we had the honor also of discussing at the occasion of the Yongpyong Forum not so long ago. So I look forward to a rich afternoon of discussions, and I thank once more the Mayor Wang for welcoming us here today, and wish you all a very successful forum. Thank you.
네.
Once again, give out a round of applause for his wonderful remarks. At this time point, we are going to connect the Hamburg in Germany. So our the leaders of the cities and districts will meet. Very the familiar faces. Lau Bardes Gutera from UNESCO UIL is now connecting us. So please give us a welcoming remarks. Mr. Lau, are you there? Please go ahead with your remarks.
It's really a pleasure to be here today, and heard that yesterday there was a very successful event. It's really nice that now the organization is moving forward on the development of the success of the Korean cities in particular topics. So I'm very happy to be here, and I think that the topic that you have selected for the discussion is quite important. It's crucial in the discussion we're having in the network around the world, because climate change serves as a critical code red alert for humanity. And we have been experiencing the effects of the climate crisis with disruptions in many ways. But it's important that together with the international dimension, governments are also urged to implement tailored policies to protect the environment and educate their citizens. And therefore, the education comes into play as a crucial enabler for climate awareness and consequently climate action. I have been witnessing some of the good practices taking place in the Korean cities, and it's serious the way that the mayors are taking this issue and really trying to commit themselves with different organizations in the city, with the citizens themselves, organizing festivals for ESD, organizing courses, organizing different kind of activities that could make awareness of the importance that every individual has the right to access knowledge and be adequately equipped to confront the climate crisis, acquiring relevant green skills through diverse range of education sources, including schools, NGOs, universities, and other entities. Just important to mention that since its inception in 2013, the UNESCO Global Network of Learning Cities has been placed sustainable development at the heart of its work. This commitment has been further strengthened by the thematic clusters on education for sustainable development, which serves as a platform for exchange and the development of new learning cities for environmental protection and climate action. And it's against this background that the sixth international conference that will be organized in September in 2024 wants to further extend the discussion on local climate action in the framework of ESD, offering another way to encourage climate initiative from a lifelong learning perspective. So the discussions that you will be having and the actions that you will be taking will be a good source of information, of debate, of dialogue, of research for the coming conference. Wish you all the best today also, a successful discussion as it was yesterday and will be the coming days. Thank you very much.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you very much. Once again, I'd like to extend my thanks to the Mr. Lau Baldes Cotera for his wonderful remarks. So now we're going to start the opening special session. It will be opened by the Ms. Mari McCurry from the UNESCO UIL. The topic is that the best practices for creating climate-friendly and sustainable cities insight from the UNESCO Global Network of Learning Cities. Please come to the stage, come to the podium for your presentation.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. I think we will switch the language of the slides in just a second because I think they are available in Korean for everybody, almost everybody, to follow along, aside from our colleagues from outside of Korea who are here today. I will just wait until they put the slides into Korean, but I will start by saying hello to everybody, and to those who do not know me, I'm Marie Macaulay, a program specialist and a Global Network of Learning Cities representative. I've had the pleasure of working with a number of you around the table here today, and I'm happy to see some new faces as well. I work at the UNESCO Institute for Lifelong Learning in Hamburg, which is one of the institutes of UNESCO. And I really wish to thank the city once more of Busan for hosting us and taking the initiative of having the forum part day 2 hosted here today. So I will share today a few examples of best practices at the local level for creating climate-friendly, sustainable communities on the topic of climate action in learning cities. So I think I will just let you know the general structure that I will go through today. So I'll provide a little overview of what the Global Network of Learning Cities is, and also some of the work that the GNLC is responsible for in the context of education for sustainable development, and of course looking at that with a focus on lifelong learning. And I'll then look at some best practices that come directly from our learning cities around the world that illustrate what can be done at the local level in order to enhance and create climate-friendly cities in the framework of the network. And finally, we'll look ahead at some of the GNLC's work, and I hope to provide some inspiration and ways forward for how Korean cities may contribute to this work. So I think we'll maybe get started anyway. I think just to maybe note, I think maybe I'll just start by saying this doesn't need a slide anyway. For those of you who don't know, the Global Network of Learning Cities is a network that was established in 2013, and this year we're celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Global Network of Learning Cities. And so this network offers quite an interesting and important platform to exchange experiences and learn from each other, including where promoting ESD and lifelong learning for climate action is concerned. Not just that topic, that is one of the different topics that the network looks at. Of course, yesterday we went into detail at health, and now we're back on, so I don't know why we skipped pretty much all the slides. I'm going to go back. Here we go. So it's okay, it's in English. So like I said, the UNESCO Global Network of Learning Cities was established in 2013. And in 2019, we adopted a strategy which enables us to work through thematic clusters. And yesterday, Mr. Alex Howells mentioned this already. There are different topics that we study and work on with cities from around the world, including global citizenship, health and well-being, inclusion, education for sustainable development, planning, and so on. And so the particular network cluster on ESD is coordinated by the cities of Hamburg and Shanghai, where we will be celebrating next week the 10th anniversary of the GNLC. And these two cities, as well as all of the cities that you see here on the screen, meet very regularly to exchange updates as well as good practices, particularly in regards to promoting lifelong learning on the topic of ESD. But they also support other members of the network in their practice sharing exercise. So they host webinars and different events on this particular theme. And so each month, a given city actually takes turn to present on how they are implementing ESD and providing specific inputs in relation to their activities in order to advance in the field of ESD at the local level. On this, within this particular working group, UIL published a report on ESD implementation in learning cities in 2021, and this continues to be quite a useful resource for capacity building for cities across the network. So really, the GNLC members are quite at the forefront of creating sustainable, climate-positive cities by offering inclusive lifelong learning opportunities. And today, I will highlight a few remarkable examples and initiatives from different cities, starting with Shanghai in China, where they've developed an action plan emphasizing community health, as well as local environment, and community engagement and vocational skills. And so, central to their vision is the 2017-2035 Urban Development Plan, which has the ambition to create a city that is reflective of humanity, ecology, and creativity. And so by 2020, they actually launched an all-encompassing community action plan on ESD, Education for Sustainable Development. This particular action plan is driven by Shanghai's Lifelong Learning Education Division, which partners with community colleges at the district level, and these colleges engage educators in the particular initiative. And so with the backing of local educational and research institutions, these particular educators are able to run grassroots ESD projects as well as action research. So they've gained quite a few insights from this work so far already. And they have understood that it's really important for them, as some lessons taking forward, is to familiarize the community with community educators with ESD terminology. For example, this is not a given and something that they have to continuously work on, as well as update as the trend of ESD continues to evolve. Understand the 17 SDGs and base ESD content upon those trends. As well as seek support from professionals in the field, because of course we cannot invent the wheel every time. Strengthen cooperation and communication between all stakeholders has been key, and this is a topic I think that we find pretty much in every single work area concerned with the GNLC, including health, as we heard yesterday. And finally, something that they've learned is that they need to seek administrative support and maintain close contact with local education authorities in order for the initiatives to be to have an impact across all stakeholders. I'll just move forward to Hamburg, where UIL is located, and some of you have visited Hamburg already. Hamburg launched a ESD Master Plan 2030, which outlines educational actions that are set for the years 2021 to 2030. So what does this actually mean on the ground? Well, regarding climate action, to start, all learning institutions from preschools to universities have a responsibility in tackling climate issues. So by 2045, the aim for Hamburg is to have all school buildings be climate neutral. And so, in addition to that, their Climate Schools project takes a very holistic stance on climate change, and the Klimacampus Hamburg serves as a research hub on climate matters. So these are some of the initiatives. And beyond the formal education sector, Hamburg also has initiatives that spans across its districts. They've introduced, for example, a rain playground for kids, as well as a platform, which is called Moin Zukunft, meaning hello future, which educates residents on simple daily protection steps that they can take at their own level in order to support transformation towards climate action. Moving to Japan, where in Okoyama we see the city leveraging community learning for climate action and broader ESD. Okoyama has launched climate centers called kominkans, which are key players for ESD, and in which they host programs in areas such as environmental awareness, where residents are actively planning and executing ESD projects. This can go from workshops directly into local solution making, where they can tackle specific local and regional challenges. Also, Okoyama's commitment is quite evident in the Okoyama ESD project, which is a bridge between stakeholders citywide, in which they promote both informal and formal learning. So they go from the kominkans, these community centers, to schools, parks, and malls. For example, elementary students engage with local elders, which are called human treasures, where they learn about the environment and the value, for example, of recycling. In Chefchaouen, Morocco, so really taking you around the globe today, we witnessed the power of collaboration on advancing ESD and climate action, particularly through the Energy Info Center initiative. which is now under the city's wing as well, and which has the mission to educate residents in both French as well as in Arabic about sustainable energy transitions. And so by doing so, they aim to inspire eco-conscious daily decisions. And so the key areas for Chef Chawen is really to conserve electricity and water, to leverage solar energy, to ensure indoor air quality, to adapt to climate change, and to make safe use of gas as well as efficient waste management. And Chef Chawen overall has the willingness to arm its community with knowledge so that they can make daily eco-friendly energy decisions. Taking you to Australia in Wyndham, which is also part of the Education for Sustainable Development Working Group in the GNLC, which is actually championing youth involvement in climate action, where they offer engaging lifelong learning activities, such as free short excursions in specialized programs for schools as well as kindergartens. And some of their efforts were highlighted during the Wyndham Environmental Youth Summit, which coincided with Youth Environment Day. And here, over 100 students from diverse schools were able to work and dive into workshops about pressing environmental concerns. Moreover, some of the city's Climate Futures Office also recently allowed students as well as local artists to create art using waste, which helped foster creativity, of course, but also for the students to create more environmental awareness. So, of course, while there are many examples from the GNLC members who are part of the cluster on ESD working group, as well as other GNLC members making strides, there are specific examples here from cities that really are at the core of ESD development at the local level. Just to highlight, for example, Évry-Courcouronnes, which some of you have been to, where they blend ESD through science, for example, through their city learning festival. In Copenhagen, the Green Kayak Initiative is a project that encourages eco-consciousness in a fun way, so to say, where volunteers can enjoy free kayaking session while they collect waste, and they can then share their experience online as well. Since 2017, which is the beginning of this initiative, kayakers have gathered over 80 tons of garbage, which, of course, for Copenhagen has spotlighted the issue of water pollution. Finally, in Vancouver, in Canada, the city is a champion of nature-based education, where outdoor schools offer different programs that address ESD topic, from climate change all the way to green skills. And so just to say, looking ahead for the Global Network of Learning Cities, as well as hopefully some of the work of the Korean Association of Learning Cities that we can embark into our work, we'll be working to continue to support the efforts around ESD at the local level for lifelong learning. And some of the specific initiatives that we'll be focusing on will be collecting best practices to highlight lifelong learning's role at the city level for climate action. We're also in the process of co-developing, co-creating online modules on local level ESD, which also will look to emphasize the role of lifelong learning for climate action. And this will be featured on our UIL Learning Hub, which is our new platform where we host our courses that we offer at UIL. We're also gearing up for the upcoming International Conference on Learning Cities, the 6th, which takes place after the 5th, which took place in Yongsu-gu. So next year, we will be focusing on climate action and climate resilience at the local level. And finally, I warmly invite you, all learning cities here today, to access our Learning Hub, once again, online community, where we have a community of practice, where we're now starting to host best practices that cities can upload themselves to share amongst each other what they are up to, and also to create an online space for discussion and knowledge sharing, so that we don't solely rely on in-person meetings or webinars, but we can actually access all of this information on the UIL Hub. You just have to sign up. And so finally, well, of course, apart from its focus on ESD, we're actively actively working on specific other thematic areas that connect to the topic of ESD. This is something maybe quite interesting for this particular region where we find ourselves. But for example, we're actively working on the topic of wetland cities to uphold the Ramsar Convention, which has, as you know, supported over the past decades the management of wetland areas. In order to promote sustainable wetland use as well as amplify their significance and ensure global conservation. So in that light, it's interesting to hear that this area has also been denominated as a geopark area. And so just to say finally, some of our upcoming work with the Greening Education Partnership. So GNLC members with an interest in the areas of ESD and lifelong learning have been invited to form part of the Greening Education Partnership at UNESCO, which aspires to equip every learner with the tools needed to address climate change. And so this partnership focuses on 4 particular areas, which you have right here: greening schools, greening curriculum, greening teacher training and education systems capacities, and finally greening communities. And so as you can guess, UIL will be actively supporting and playing a big role in a greening community segment, emphasizing the role of community learning centers and learning cities in fostering positive development for ESD at the local level. So while it's quite clear that we have a ways to go in the future on ESD, we really hope that this was useful in terms of highlighting some of the best practices, and hope that we can also bring more Korean cities on board in some of our work on ESD in the future. So I thank you very much, and I look forward to the discussions later today on all sorts of topics, and hopefully we can continue the discussion on ESD. Thank you.
So please give her with a big round of applause to Miss Mary McCauley. This session is time to discuss policies and strategies for the purpose of cooperation between UNESCO, UIL, and Korea's lifelong learning cities for the development of a global lifelong learning cities. So, sustainable lifelong learning cities and finding the role of local governments, we can find the way. So, we will share Korea's best practices. Let me briefly explain the procedure order. It is largely composed of a presentation session and discussion session. So during the presentation session, the 2 mayors will deliver presentations for 10 minutes each, followed by Q&A session, moderated by Professor Choi Eun-sil. And then we will have a discussion session. From now on, there will be the first presentation. I'd like to introduce the first presenter. The collective life learning centers. This presentation will be delivered by Ms. Mayor Gon-ik-hyun. Please welcome him with a big round of applause. Good afternoon. I'm Gon-ik-hyun, Mayor of Buan County. Today, I would like to talk about the lifelong learning projects and cases. And I'm really pleased to share these projects and cases with you. Thank you. So the context order is that the Buan County's general status, and then the lifelong learning city Buan, and best example, best practices. So Buan is located in west side. So it is a complex city. So around 50,000 people live in Buan. So for the future and vitality, these visions we have, So we are trying to build global resort tourist city and better farm village, healthy, self-sufficient city, eco-friendly future industry city, the land of live for the city behind Sam Gunman, an inclusive city with a people-centered approach. These projects we are pursuing. These are the tourist attractions in Busan County. Please refer to it for more detailed information. In 2017, we were designated as a lifelong learning city. And learning together vitality, these visions we set. So student-centered, learner-centered program and lifelong learning facilities, these networks were strengthened. And we are pursuing these visions continuously. And lifelong learning city, Busan, and the history, please refer to the materials. And I'd like to touch on the major achievements of Busan. Busan in 2022 won the Lifelong Learning Policy Award. And in 2023, we was selected as a UNESCO Lifelong Learning City. And also, Busan was selected for the excellent faculty of universities to provide the citizens a really good quality education. In addition, those who participate in these programs, under the motive of Busan, they published the child books based on it. And also, they engage in various activities to contribute to local communities. This is a virtuous cycle. So they set a really good example. And I'd like to talk about Introduction to Lifelong Education Program, Adult Literacy Education, Visiting Hangul Class. Busan's population is on the decreasing, and the number of elderly is on the rise. So, given the local characteristics, and many people struggle with their livelihood, and the rising number of elderly population, there is a demand for this lifelong learning demand, and there is a big gap between the cities, and also there is a lacking the teaching personnel. So we sought the solution to address these problems. So we are trying to provide opportunity for residents to learn anywhere, anytime. So we launched the Visiting Hangul Classroom. This Visiting Hangul Classroom is addressing the problem, which is some people are not accessible to class. So if there are 5 or more people, we open the Korean classroom. And also there is a management for this class. And every year we are training the personnel so that they can teach literacy class. Visiting Hangul class in 2015 June is started, and twice a week for 2 hours. It is operated under this plan. And senior citizen centers and public places are the locations for this Visiting Hangul class. So basic Korean alphabet and special activities and life literacy classrooms are running. And even 273 people are participating in this classroom. And there is a special activity for visiting Hangul class to let them realize their potential. So they really can increase the opportunity to participate in the society. As a result, some of the participants won the many people win the awards of the national exhibition, and this year the person won the Ministry of Education award. And also this person has a really desperate need to learn, and these people in the midst of difficulties, they learned and they really worked hard. Even though they are elderly, this person won the award and she debuted as a poet. So visiting Hangul class can address the problem of the reducing the declining population and the increasing elderly population. In addition, it gives the popularity of letting them to participate in social activities, and it enhances the communication with their family members and other people. In the future, Buan will continuously provide the opportunity to further lifelong learning, and we will build the lifelong learning center, and it will serve as a hub of lifelong learning center in this region. Participation and the vision will be realized with this mission. On this note, I'd like to wrap up my representation, and I'd like to play the video.
안녕하세요.
Hello,
부안군 발해 청춘학교
I'm the student of Bare
안녕하세요.
School. I'm Iripsun. Nice to see you.
팔자를 쓰는 것이 잘 삐뚤어지게
So
쓰는 게
when I'm writing the letters, I'm not good at writing the letters. So it is very difficult to write number 8.
우리 한글 배우니까
So I learned Hangul, Korean alphabet.
글도 이렇게 참아놓으면 써보고
So I tried to write the letters and read the articles.
글을 오게 되면 또 누워서 잠
So when I read the articles, I really fall asleep easily. So on this note, I would like to wrap up my presentation on the lifelong learning case through the participation and vitalization. Thank you.
Okay. The last video clip was very much impressive, and it gives a lot of inspiration. Please give him a round of applause for his wonderful presentation. Now we're going to invite the second speaker, the Seogu, the world largest university. With that topic, the Governor Kim Lee-kwang, Mayor of Seogu District, is going to make a presentation. Please welcome him with a round of applause. Good afternoon. My name is Kim Hee-kang. I'm a mayor of Seogu District of Gwangju Metropolitan City. So I inaugurated last July 1st, and this is the second year of my administration. So I believe that I'm quite new as the governor, mayor of the Seogu district, and it is really glad to meet you. And also Mari, and I met her in last UNESCO meeting, and then she gave a lot of supports and help. So it's really great to get meeting her once again. So the lifelong university of the my district is that the Seogu, the world's largest university, that's catchphrase that we adopted. So entire Seogu district, we consider entire Seogu district as a university so that we can pursue and promote the lifelong education for citizens of the Seogu district. So last month, 31st, as you can see in the photo, I'm not sure whether my slide is going to the next one. Okay. You can see that like this photo, I'm not sure. The last month first we got the opening ceremony, and then our university already kicked off. So basically, I want to say is that this across the central and local governments, what is the kind of touching points between the government and the citizens, the residents? I believe the Dong, the community, is something closer to its citizens. That is a administrative welfare center, is something that can touch everyday lives of citizens. This center can enhance the quality of the services for the citizen. That's why the local governments, local autonomous governments exist, so that we can cater to the needs of the citizens. What kind of mindset that we have, an attitude that we have in terms of carrying out our services. I believe that is the moment of truth that is carried out by the community center. So in terms of innovation of the community and also making community is a central, that's something we pursue in our government office, and also we continue to do that in our future. For the last 2 years, on average, there are programs that we implemented and also venues that we have, also trainees in our courses. So you can see that the numbers and statistics about that. The concept, the world's largest university, Seogu, that is my idea. We have 5 different districts, including Gwangju metropolitan city, but there's no university available in Seogu district in my community. There are many universities in other districts, but my district does not have any university. That much university is now going out of the city by selling their existing land in the central part of the city because of the land prices getting higher. So for the developers, they just sell their land to the developers, or they just develop themselves to make some profit. So I reverse my thoughts about this district. It doesn't mean that we don't have a college and university. Entire Seogu district itself becomes a university. This large campus with a university. If that is the case, I believe that it will be the world's largest campus and university. That's why I came up with the idea that the world's largest university, or WLU. So there are 3 different pillars of this university. I'm sorry, 4 pillars I'm going to explain. First one is the building an integrated education platform. This one is the most important. We need a collaboration across the department collaboration. For the civil officers, it's difficult to do certain collaboration. Because in the beginning, we created this kind of split roles and responsibilities to make the administrative work perfect. Based on the culture, we have a pretty clear roles and responsibilities across the public officers. However, in this new era, this kind of splitting division of work posed a kind of barrier, hurdles for the better collaboration. And second thing is that I told you that Seogu will be the world's largest university, meaning that it can closer to the citizens and short distance education is possible. How it is possible, let me tell you. And also, we have the 15 universities within the Gwangju metropolitan city. We can learn something from them in order to implement the education in our district, and also how we can come up with the online system to make education easier for the citizen. So first one is that the building an integrated education platform. So management for this, the students and also faculty, I believe that this is something we need to address. For example, you need to kind of meet the certain credit 200 hours for the master's degree or 150 hours for the bachelor's degree. So we kind of have this kind of system in place. And if you fulfill the master courses, you can also work as the instructor for part-time. And also further than you can become a professional instructor and professor. By department, we have a department-wise education system, a department-specific education management system. So climate department, there is a different disciplines. So the education has been very much splitted and dispersed. So we need to converge them and reflecting and melting into our curriculum and management system. So lifelong team and also education curriculum team, they work together and they combine this into the one specific education management system. That's a key project that we were able to achieve. And the next one is that we need to make the creating a nearby learning spaces. We have a community-based life for citizens. We have 18 neighborhood campuses, administrative centers. So these 18 centers, we infuse and gives a certain brand identity based on this community. They have history, their characteristic, and their culture. They have their own brand. So each characteristic exists in the community, but our administration just put unilateral administration prices. So we give a brand identity for each community. For example, Pohangdong, it is very closer to the lake and the mountain. It has a beautiful landscape. So we designate the brand resting and the healing for this place. Another district, a community, they have government office and also 30,000 population, larger than any other community. So we place the brand that this is a Jipyeong, where the eco-friendliness. So they have a higher population, so that's why they emit a lot of carbons. So we can have a better carbon neutrality trainings and eco-friendliness. So if we, in terms of green waves, I guess the community will have a better focus and better budget and better manpower education. So that's how we can come up with a good successful cases in specific community, and also it's better for them to gain the open competition hosted by the central government. So we don't have to cover them all. We don't have to be the best at all different fields. Rather, each community can be good and best at certain things, and this also create a certain nearby learning spaces, and these learning spaces will be specialized in one thing. So that's why we are implement 10-minute distance learning playground. And third thing is about the collaboration and cooperation with the local universities. I believe that everybody is doing very well. I believe that the specialization of the local universities can be practical in our plan. If you are limited to local universities and in terms of study and learning, if you're just limited district or university, you are not very much competitive. So we're going to expand and beyond, and lifelong education should be beyond the universities. So last thing what we do is that how we can enhance our education. So with a low budget, we are creating the website and application, this lifelong learning network application. So I've been to Sieng City before, 2 weeks ago. Their application is very good. They spent 400 million Korean won or 400,000 Korean USD per operation, but we spent only $23,000. So, but the budget, we just 1/20th of the Sieng City's application, but in terms of features and roles, 50% of that app. So that's our aim, to achieve the kind of a performance and features through this application. I believe that I'm going to upgrade the existing ones so that we can make that practical and effective. And also, classical and humanities, the disciplines can be also melted into this application learning so that we can kind of fatten your mindset. So our district, the phrase is that this our district called as Seogu. Seo means a stand. So our catchphrase is together with the residents of Seogu, stand tall in Seogu on the field. So that's the vision, and that's the catchphrase we are dreaming of. So we have many members and also officers from the UNESCO and the UNESCO network cities, and also we have a respected mayor, and then the mayor and governors of the city and then districts. They are textbook live textbook. So with them, I'm very honored to make this presentation. Thank you for your attention.
감사합니다.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. Mr. Please give him a big round of applause. Now, so after the two presentations, we will have a brief Q&A session, and Ms. Choi Eun-sil will moderate over the Q&A session. So I will give microphone to the Mr. and Ms. Choi Eun-sil. I will give the microphone to Ms. Choi Eun-sil. Please welcome her with a big round of applause. Professor Choi Eun-sil, please go ahead. So yesterday and today, this is the second session. So yesterday is for the first time, the Gwangmyeong is the Korea's first life learning city. In collaboration with the UIL, and this at the time the event took place online and offline. And last year, UIL, Hamburg, and Bonn, and Aberkuchen, and 3 cities we visited last year. 7 mayors, we call them 7-star cities. So those mayors attended this event, so it is very meaningful. So first, UIL, Miss Mary McCurry gave an opening session for us. So not just Korea, but also Shanghai, China, Hamburg, Germany, Chikshawen, Morocco, Windom, Australia. These cities and Okayama, Japan are really doing well for ESD sustainable development. And in the 10th anniversary of the Learning City Festival, this festival will be held in Shanghai just after this international forum. So I will introduce Korea's best practices at this event. At that event, and how to respond to climate crisis, that is very important. So this is the key agenda of UNESCO Life Learning, and we talked about the water and health, that kind of agenda we talked about yesterday. The two presenters made the presentations, and really I am impressed by those presentations. In particular, UIL thematic working group. So depending on the topic, there are 270 cities around the world. Gwangju, Seogu, Jeongbuk, Busan are candidates for GNLC. And this thematic group collects lots of data, and GNLC develops module and provides guideline. And community practice online, we are building it. And of course, the 6th GNLC is supposed to be hold the general conference. However, this meeting will be held in 2024. So, new GNLC will be announced next year, and the grand award will be awarded next year. So there are action plans of UIL. This is the key of the UIL presentation. And also, the UIL provides the support for wetlands. And Ramsar National Conference, the wetland learning series are very important. So this is the life learning city for wetland will be created. And health learning cities, this project will be pursued by UNESCO. Green schooling, green culture, and there are many themes related to green regarding lifelong learning. So not just lifelong learning. LLLH, LLLC, these LLLH is really really important topic these days. Gwangju, Seogu, and Buan really made important presentations. Buan is providing outreach program for the vulnerable people. It has a visiting Hangul class. Not to mention this, and also not just this, but also Buan won the grand prize. And also eco-medium creator and friendly environment projects. Buan developed those experts for the capacity building programs. So Buan is newly joined our program. And ESD, it has really lots of experiences and cases. However, Mayor Buan focuses on outreach programs for literacy. Second of all, Gwangju Seogu, the mayor really gave a really good presentation with wit. Gwangju Seogu he said, really gave a unique title of the city. And he said 18 community centers as the community centers, and also 18 communities have unique brands. So they can serve as self-learning cities. And also, he focused on green community, eco-friendly Gwangju. So I'm really impressed by his presentation. So also, he made the learning network purchase site by archive. It is very unique. As we are well aware, however, there are
welcome. So, okay, who will be the first? Okay, Marie, please.
Thank you so much, Hunchil, for the really comprehensive summary, and also I think for both cities who presented in the first round of the presentations today. It was really inspiring. Something I didn't mention in the opening remarks, but that I think we were all really impressed with, but also touched by, was the visit in today's Lifelong Learning Center for disabled population in Buan. I think I speak on behalf of all of the participants who visited today. We've never seen anything like it, and it was so inspiring, touching, and I think really helping us establish a vision for inclusion in the context of disabled populations. So maybe one of our questions that we had during this this visit was what is the trend in Korea for building such centers? We understand there's a lot of development on developing lifelong learning centers, generally speaking, but on the topic of inclusion, are there other types of centers in cities of mayors here today that you could speak about? And we would love to hear more information. That would be my first question for today, and then after that, I think I'll pass the floor to my colleagues. Thank you.
Okay. 우리 저 군수님 세상에서 가장 큰 평생학습관을 지금 짓고 계신데
So you are building the world's largest life learning universities. Could you explain about your centers? So the site of the centers, where are the places where people learn at nighttime? So the people learn something during the nighttime while they are working during the days. That land area was donated to us. The prerequisite and condition for donation is to build something for the life learning. So I believe that the land is quite expensive because of its good location. So this donors, based on the purpose of this donation, we really want something in aligning with this purpose. That's why we came up with the idea for the Life Learning Center. The site is just next to the district office and also closer to the mountain, meaning that it is very good location. So Life Learning Center, I believe that the center will play a central role in the backbone for the lifelong. That's the kind of background behind this construction. We are aiming to complete this building next year.
it is donated by the Evening School Historical Institute. So it is very inspiring point, the evening school. And also it will be the worldwide well-known, the largest the lifelong learning center in the Korean local government. It's okay. It's very okay. Second question, please.
Thank you very much. I want to also join Mary in agreeing that whatever we saw in the morning is one of a kind. I have not seen that in my country, especially to learn that actually this learning is extending from the center to the homes and also to the community level. It was very impressive, and I wish to congratulate the mayor of Buan City for the great work. Secondly, I would like to appreciate the two presentations by the two mayors. Very good insights there. And thirdly, my question goes to the mayor of Seo district. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Yeah.
The second presentation. Yes.
The West District.
Seoul.
Yeah. Seoul.
Seoul.
West City
Okay.
District. The Gwangju City.
All right. Thank you. So you have given us very great insights towards the plans that you have for educational programs and lifelong learning. However, I wish to hear whether you have plans to integrate climate change programs into the education plans that you have. Thank you.
대답 드리고.
So
You are asking about the climate change action programs. As I told you before, so I believe there's a certain limitation in terms of spending money, financial restriction. So we focus on the Jipyeongdong area for the climate action. So in partnership with the central government, Ministry of Education, so the teachers, activists of the climate change will be working for the students in schools. So in our schools, there is the autonomous class for the autonomous credit. So we have a autonomous semester, a free semester for students to learning something at their disposal. During that time, you can invite the climate activists as an instructor. We're going to dispatch them so they can provide a certain education to students. And also, second thing is that so food is trash. garbages, food, in order to reduce the food trash and leftover the food. We also support any measures for the restaurants and large the commercial industry to reduce their food trash and garbage. And also waste collector. So maybe garbage and trash collector should be distributed to each community, 18, but we just intensively provided this kind of trash collectors one community so that we can kind of see certain intensive and reinforce the results from the specific community. That's what we do.
Join the congratulations to both of you on your presentations, and also we are really impressed about the center this morning, as my partners actually said before. So my question is about the development of capabilities for employment in the future. So if you are working in this center and in some cases developing new skills for people to transit from one job or to improve the capabilities to grow economically. So if perhaps you have additional programs that complement the work that you are doing in the different centers that allow people to have this social mobility and to work together, because this is kind of a first step in those cases thinking about economic development, but what other activities are you developing that help people to have that social mobility and have more capabilities?
군수님, 저기 이런 평생교육의 다양한 프로그램을 통해서
Through the various lifelong education, maybe we can boost the economy of the local community. But what about the social mobility? How they can kind of move their position and income and their influences and authorities? They might kind of step up their the levels of the social status. Do you have any specific programs like that? I believe that is a very difficult question to answer. In Buhan-gun, we have 2 lifelong education programs. First one is that the literacy, Korean literacy. We help them to read and write Korean language. So you actually have to become an instructor to teach Korean language to those Korean illiterate. And they can be dispatched to the senior citizen center to provide Korean language education. And that much we need to also pay for them. So we create the jobs as a Korean instructor.
This is a small kind of exercise, small movement exercise. So not just a small exercise, they are singing and they are practicing yoga. And we kind of provide the training, and they are dispatched to senior citizen centers. And this is also another example of creating jobs. We provide the income to them. So economically, it is helpful. And to do this, the young housewives, they want to get this job. And around 470 senior citizen centers are located in Busan. Half of them run the literacy classroom and cultural exercise classroom. And in the future, we will run this program in every senior citizen center. By doing this, we are creating jobs. And literacy classroom contract exercise, the elderly will not go to hospital. They are waiting for getting this class because they really enjoy these classes. So Busan really running these projects very aggressively.
But anyway, all the lifelong learning and literacy and the life skill empowering project can be contribute to for the creating of the learning-oriented job creation and also the activating the community economics and also as a whole, it will be contributed to the social upward mobility. So okay, it's enough.
네,
아니
자장님.
하나 더
예,
제가
예.
저도 한번 좀 생각이 나서 실은 이제
So ultimately, that is the concern we have to have. For me, there is the housing culture in Korea. Many people live in apartment complex. 75% of the people live in apartment complex, around 80%. So community centers are really collapsing. So through the lifelong learning system, we can reintegrate the communities. And based on these efforts, there are people who are working hard and they are selected as instructors for lifelong learning. And there can be cooperatives and the town cooperation. There will be new models. We can create new models. So the cooperatives and town cooperation company, we have to support them. And most importantly, every information is open these days, so there is a collective intelligence. So what kind of direction, what kind of solution we have? That is not. If we lay the kind of environment, residents will find the solution by themselves. So we have to serve as a guide. So with collective intelligence, residents will solve the problem. So they can upgrade to the another next level. So this is a progressive method solution, I believe.
Since we are providing the simultaneous interpretation, please keep that in mind. And also, we're going to have a discussion, panel discussion session. So if that is the case, we're going to move to the next session. Thank you very much for your wonderful response. Before we start the second session, we have the chairman of the Korean Association of Lifelong Education, Lifelong Learning Cities, Mr. Park Seung-won from the mayor of Gwangmyeong City. So he is going to give a brief remarks. Why don't we take a 10-minute break? Yes, we're going to take a 10-minute break. I'm so sorry that I'm late. I'm going to do better in learning by focusing on the session. Thank you very much. So that's all from my side. Okay, we are going to have a 10-minute break, and then we will resume the session. This is a break time. We're going to start the next session in 10 minutes. Thank you very much.
he, he,
예. 맥락과 이해를 돕기 위해 우리 위원장님께서 해주신 거고요. 그래서 이렇게 네. 자, 지금부터는 시간 관계상 네, 두 번째 을 진행하겠습니다. 네. 그 정읍교육지원청 교육장님이신데요. 정읍교육지원청 교육장 우리 해운도시예요. 근데 오셨다가 발표하신다고 하니까 네. 맞아요. 못 오신다 그랬어요. 저기 그 대신 직원분들이 왔어요. 네. 네, 하고 그냥 하면 오히려 뭐 그런 얘기 들을 필요 없이. 네. 네. 조금 전에 네. 이제 시간 관계상 이제 두 번째 시부터는 저입니다. 저희 위원장님께서 조금 더 우리나라의 도시를 잘 소개해 주시기 위해서 신 네. 위해 토끼의 조금 길어. 네네 네네 네 오신 분 네네 에게 저쪽 안성시 저기 안성시장 그쪽이 잘 소개해 주시기 위해서 되게 하지만 대께서 분들이 네. 지금 4시 4시 50분인데요. 5시 50분 딱 1시간 10분 정도 남았습니다. 10분씩 준비를 했고요. 그 20분 정도 해야 될 것 같습니다. 원래 50분 정도 하려고 했는데 그렇게 해 어쨌든 끝나는 시간은 예약 시간이 있어서 6시에 끝나는 걸로. 네네. 그러니까 어차피 뭐 시간 봐가면서 4개 발표하고 그 6시 하는 시간만큼 그냥 풍부하게 우리 또 위원장님께서 이해를 돕기 위해서 해주신 거라서 네. 그렇게 해야죠. 네, 그렇게는 괜찮습니다. 당연하죠. 예. 위원장님 그건 당연한 것 같습니다. 그럼요. 네, 저희가 이제 두 번째 발표 섹션에는 지금 시간 관계상 4개의 발표를 할 예정인데요. 조금 전에 저희 그 해외 연사님들께 조금 더 우리나라의 사례를 좀 더 잘 알려드리기 위해서 맥락과 이해를 돕기 위해서 조금 우리 위원장님께서 아주 감사하게도 조금 말씀을 해주셨고요. 지금부터는 말씀을 드릴게요. 제가 명확하게. 그럼요. 근데 다 그렇게 알고 계세요. 그리고 교수님의 그 설명이 너무 좋았어요. 그 교수님이 영어로 하신 것도 다 동시통역으로 듣고 있어서 다들 좋았다고 합니다. 네. 네, 그럼요. 예. 맞아. 너무 감사하게 여기까지 와주셨는데요. 당연하고요. 그리고 잘 진행해 주셨고요. 너무 감사합니다. 네, 이제 들어오셔야 될 것 같아요. 네. 발표를 하고 그러면 교수님 그냥 있는 그대로 하셔도 돼요. 네. 라울도 아까 연결했어요. 네. 네, 두 번째 섹션을 진행하도록 하겠습니다.
Let us start the second session. Please be seated. At the second session, because of time constraints, we will deliver 4 presentations at the same time at once. So the Miss Chairwoman gave the detailed help for her help. Really, I feel thankful, and the presenters also really expressed their gratitude for it. Let's start the second session. The third presentation will be delivered by Mayor Ansong City. Sinabro is the little by little for the whole entire life cycle. So please welcome them with a big round of applause. Nice to see you all. I am the mayor of Ansan City. So I have really a lot to talk about. Sinabro, it is a pure Korean word. So without your knowledge, little by little, for the entire lifetime. The reason why we use this Sinabro because people do not want to study. Study is kind of has meaning that they have to learn from their teachers at school. So they have to testify it, and they have to prove it through the exams. So even though people do not realize that is studying, however, their capabilities are increasing, and that's why we use the term Sinabro. So Sinabro activation project is pursued by Ansong City. So I would like to talk about the status of Ansong City, Sinabro learning activation project, and one-day class I would like to talk about today. Ansong City is located in South Gyeonggi Province. It is located inland. So it has a really large area. Around 200,000 people live in Ansan City. So lifelong learning marketplace is why we are doing because there is a low popularity density. That's why we are doing this project. So we reflect these factors into our project. Unlike Seogu, we have 5 universities, and there are libraries and resident centers. And for each neighborhood, we want to build one university and library. Library serve as a hub for the community. So we already have built the libraries for almost all districts. Ansan City has the multicultural population. Around 30 million foreigners live in this Ansan City. And we also provide the foreign language centers. And there are really lots of interest in media, so we are running media centers. And we are trying to relocate Lifelong Learning Center. The new Lifelong Learning Center has some difference from the existing one. The women capability building and job creation for women, these sectors will be created for a new Life Learning Center. And we will have Eco Green Campus. We are building it. And we are preparing for the Environmental Association. The building will be built next year completely. Eco Green Campus, behind the background of Eco Green Campus creation, we had the inauguration, and when we built the inauguration waste to the dumping center, so we have to, under the laws, we have to return the benefit to the local communities. For the first time, for our community and for the residents did not demand the benefits for themselves. So recycling, the importance of recycling, the importance of climate crisis, they want to build the eco-green campus. So that was their request. So for these benefits, we are building this eco-green campus. So how we respond to what kind of lectures are provided regarding Eco Green Campus next year, I want to present these cases. In 2020, the Ansan City was designated as a lifelong learning city, so it is kind of it was a latecomer. However, unfortunately, last year, we tried to become the GNLC city. However, our attempt failed. But next year, we will do it again. However, we are also recognized as the lifelong learning city for the disabled. So we are kind of trying to make efforts for more specialty. And as I mentioned earlier, we have really a huge land size. However, there is a low population density. So I call Dongsimon. So in the center, we have a lifelong learning center, and the surrounding areas, we have community self-governance centers and libraries for the lifelong learning services. And we are working with 5 universities for lifelong learning. I will introduce 2 projects we are doing. One is the lifelong learning marketplace. The first reason why we did this project, like many other cities, there are really the downtime city was kind of on the decline. People did not go to the traditional markets; they go to the big supermarkets. So that's why we had the project to link the traditional market with the kind of make people visit traditional market. However, these attempts failed. So we also wanted to increase the accessibility to provide lifelong learning opportunities. So within the traditional markets, we made the space for lifelong learning. Some store owners wanted to provide their space for lifelong learning. So they provide the space for lifelong learning. So we kind of gather these people and we build the lifelong learning community and provide various programs. So lifelong learning marketplace was made like this. Not just studying, but also people buy products, items at the traditional markets, and they sell their items at the flea market in the traditional markets. So this is a way of revitalizing the traditional markets. So this is the graph of what I explained. So some shop owners provided their shops for the lifelong learning, and some people serve as instructors. She's the first the lifelong learning artisan. She's teaching the succulent art. So this is what she felt through working as the teacher of succulent art. With this lifelong learning lesson, so more young people visit traditional markets. This is a family one-day class. We also had concerns. So because of COVID-19, it was really difficult for people to gather for learning. So people turned to online lecture and small size lecture. So the first case was a traditional market. We rented the space for the lifelong learning. However, this family one-day class, we designated some shops for example, coffee shops. They teach how to make coffee, and quilt workshop teach how to make quilt. So this family one-day class is providing the small size kind of lecture. So in Gyeongsang province, the couple has just a few words. Have you eaten the meal? How about our children? Let's go to sleep. However, this couple has really do not talk with their children, so they just use the message app. So how to make more harmonious family? How to make family members communicate better? That's why we made one day. That's why we made the one-day class. So among many programs, one-day family class, there is really high competition. So the registration rate is 400%. So when we want to select just 10 people, 60 people want to apply for it. So there is really high satisfaction and it increases the solidarity. As you can see on the picture, mother and son, they take the class together, and the sisters, they take the class together, and mother-in-law and daughter-in-law take the class together. So let's say workshop can increase their income, salaries, and they can kind of get the word of mouth, so it can have the promotion effect. And many citizens who participate in this program have high satisfaction. So vitalize the local economy, and also it provides a new way of teaching, so people want to participate in it more. Thank you.
So there are a lot of best practices and cases. So once again, please give her a round of applause for her wonderful presentation. So now we're going to turn to the third speaker. It's very famous city in Chungcheongnam-do province. It's a Gongju city. So global lifelong learning city, Gongju's next. With that topic, the mayor Choi Won-chul of Gongju city is going to make a presentation. Please give him a round of applause. It's really nice to meet you. I'm a mayor of Gongju city. My name is Choi Won-chul. Nice to meet you. So 2 days ago in our Gongju city, there was an earthquake. So that caused a greater concern to us. Due to the earthquake characteristic, there is the ripple effects, and we concerned a lot because there might be certain, aftershock, but there wasn't no aftershock, so I was a little bit relieved. So I'd like to extend my appreciation and welcome to all of you, including the Professor Kwon Ik-hyun that I admired during, and also the representatives of the association. So I'm going to introduce the lifelong learning of Gongju City. Let me introduce Gongju City. As you know, that this is an ancient capital of Baekje Kingdom, and also this is the place where the first prehistoric sites in Korean Peninsula, and as well as it is designated and listed in the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. So we have the royal tombs of Joseon Dynasty, and also Magok Sa Buddhist Temple, and also there is the record history that is also listed as the World Record Heritage, and also we have the cultural heritage Arirang, Gongju Arirang, which is including the Arirang that is a folk song in our culture. So it is also listed as a cultural heritage. So we have a 100,000 to 100,000 and 571 the population. The area is about 800,000 square kilometers. It's 1.4 times larger than Seoul, and also when you look at the statistics and numbers about our places, that you feel that our numbers are really good. And also, National Gongju University, which is the teachers' college former teachers college, which provided a very famous the distinguished teachers for the country. So I could say that Gongju is the South Korea's educational city. So let me talk about the evolution of Gongju as a lifelong learning city. So we kind of came up with a lifelong learning ordinance in 2007, and in 2015 we came up with a basic plan for lifelong learning cities develop, and also we make a declaration about lifelong learning city in 2016. We were able to become a GNLC membership. I understand that the previous speaker failed to register their city in the GNLC, but we are already joining the GNLC in 2020. Our budget has been increased gradually, so 2 billion Korean won has been used for the lifelong learning. And let me give you the overall picture of the lifelong learning delivery system. We have the Township Lifelong Education Council, which is involved with the education office of the government as well as relevant stakeholders. In our city, we have a lifelong learning department and also local invigoration department. These two are working together to promote lifelong learning. And local vibration and revitalization department is to provide a certain learning and lessons to the residents. And also this department is governing the education program. So I believe that 3 different stakeholders in the education office and government office are working together to promote lifelong learning. So we have also the Lifelong Learning Center, which is located, and then our community center it was damaged by the heavy rainfall this year, but we are going to reconstruct the proposed complex community center, which is scheduled to complete by next year. So I believe that we are going to have the lifelong learning center, which will be included in the complex community center. This will play a significant role to promote the lifelong learning center. And also, many the experts and volunteers for the lifelong learning are working here in our center. And also, we have a 435 at the Senior Citizens Cultural Center. And in there, many activists are working together to help our senior citizens. In our township, there are a lot of elderly citizens. Out of 110,000 people, 30,000 people are above 65 years old. So we have 10,000 people between the 60 to 70, and also the elderly citizen, which is the 65 years old. There are 30,000 in our city. So our city also designated as the population decreasing city due to the robust rate and also aging population. So 60 years old, 65 years old, they are account for quite a large portion in our population. So I just introduced our the lifelong learning center, which will be really constructed, and also budget for that. It is also allocated for more than 20 billion. So I really want to kind of boost and this one because I'm really proud of this current status about lifelong education. So let me talk about the concept of lifelong learning in our Gongju City, meaning that anyone can be included and there's no discrimination in participating in life learning. So from starting from when you were born and until you reach a kind of elderly age, you are kind of open to life learning. And also, what about the climate change and carbon neutrality? Those are the kind of keywords, the buzzwords these days. So carbon neutrality, that expression, I believe that it is coming from the kind of a selfish concept. We need to provide the reducing carbon limits. That you need to educate how to reduce the emission of carbons. So we are not very much accustomed to the learning of the carbon neutrality and low carbon emission. So if we are very accustomed to this kind of concept, you might go to the kind of a prestigious school. I believe that it's better to reach and approach our the population or age groups with something that is fun or enjoyable. So maybe we can change not just a learning festival, rather the festival of learning and joy. So you are learning something, but you can be also eco-friendly and good for your health, and also in alignment with the global goals. So we need to have a to change our perception as well as a behavior. So there were questions about this good job creations, quality job in creations. Through learning, we really promote to create various jobs and diverse job positions. And for students, their career or their hobbies, their interests, aptitude, as they focus on the lifelong learning with those kind of perceptions. However, the later age, people in the later age, this kind of lifelong education presents opportunity for them to get new jobs and better jobs. That's a kind of goal of the lifelong learning in our city. So in 2023, our children in the schoolhood about the 3,791, and but in before then we maintained 10,000 people in the schoolhood age children, but last year 354 was born newly in the new city. So later, when they reach the school age, you mean that our population of school age is going to get half. So that means that's very negative and grim situation. And also schools can be well compared to each other in different communities. So right now we have a 28 the primary schools. How can we make a good comparison in the schools? So let me explain. So now let me talk about the reviving closer schools, the school space and the education space and space for fun. We make the best use of closed schools in consultation with the Ministry of Education, so we can recreate these places for the lifelong and fun. So I told you before we have 12 the lifelong learning centers. So those are very much closer to the citizen. Accessibility is good, and also through the environmentally good and healthy community. In order to make that happen, from the children to the elderly citizens, we can provide this space for fun and also learning as a package via this kind of learning center. So our education office, head of the education office, and also superintendent of education and department will collaborate to each other so that we are planning to run a pilot and demonstration program. So we try to find the ways to do the demonstration work in collaboration between the Gwangju Education Office and the Central Government Office for Education to promote the lifelong learning. And next one is right now I'm going to talk about this the Gwangju Village Campus that covers accessibility, inclusivity, environment, health, and job opportunities. Ultimately, what we really want to pursue is that the acquiring knowledge and also improving the life behavior, and also awareness, so that we can provide purposeful and meaningful lifelong learning. And Gwangju City will become that kind of destination for citizens that fulfill the needs of the people. That's our goal. That's all for me. But I'd like to read this part, these phrases, not just Gwangju City, but also in the entire Korea. Nateju is a kind of iconic point in Korea. So there is a poet called the weeping the court. My garden. So I kind of clean my garden so that I can clean the earth. And I plant the flowers, and then these flowers can kind of make our environment pretty and also make our planet pretty. That's all. Thank you very much.
이어지겠는데요.
So we will have a next presentation. The presentation will be delivered by the Eunpyeong Mayor Kim Mi-kyung about enhancing the lifelong learning ecosystem through the establishing of Eunpyeong University Uni 1. Please welcome him with a big round of applause. Good afternoon, everyone. Nice to see you all. And really nice to see Raul and Marie. And 7 stars of cities. Really like to see you all, my colleagues. Now we have festivals, so you are tired and exhausted. I want you to have a chance to refresh. And this is also time for learning. So followed by Mayor Gwangmyeong will presenting the presentation. Eunpyeong District. Eunpyeong District. As Seogu Mayor said, also like Seogu, we do not have a university. So it is a really a big concern because our population is around 466,000 people, and we want to make the bigger university, maybe the second biggest university we want to build. After the Seogu University, there are 16 districts. There is no university. Of course, there is a Christian university. However, it does not play a role regarding this lifelong learning. So there are 3 districts. 서대문 has Yeondae University, Hongdae University, Ewha Women's University. Mapo has universities, including Seogang University. However, Eunpyeong does not. Where are those universities located? So let's make the university for Eunpyeong. We have 16 neighborhoods, so we build a partnership with the universities. So we will lead to lifelong learning. I would like to talk about it. So I will talk about according to this content. So we had around 500,000 population. However, now we have around 400,000 population. However, the population will increase, I believe. And there are 16 towns. And the citizen autonomous is really active. And the budget is really good. Around 100,000 people had discussion during the pandemic. And budget for the juveniles also is really allocated well. And in the rural area, there are no traditional house town. However, in Eunpyeong, there is a traditional Korean traditional house town. So Eunpyeong want to the learning society with a million ways to learn, enjoy learning 100-fold. So a learning society driven by citizens and learning society that crosses boundaries, as I mentioned earlier. So citizen autonomous is really active in Eunpyeong. So citizens have really great pride in Eunpyeong. 25 districts in Seoul, the people pay the Red Cross membership payment. Over the last 16 years, the payment, we are number 1. And 25% of citizens in Eunpyeong participate in the volunteer work. So not just COVID-19, but also other difficulties. The citizens pitch in and to help their neighbors and other people. when people cannot participate in volunteering because of COVID-19, we bought them the clothes making machine, and using this machine, they donated clothes to the vulnerable and unprivileged people. In 2008, so we enacted the lifelong education promotion regulations, and also we was designated the lifelong learning city. In 2013, we received the chairperson award. And in 2016, we joined the UNESCO Global Learning City Network. In 2019, it's very important. We received the grand prize. And also, this year we held the forum. And some of you are familiar, and nice to see you. Unpyeong also has really a variety of learning centers. And we have lots of libraries compared to other districts. We have the public run, the libraries 8 to 9, and small libraries, the number of small libraries are around 70. So to make the learning centers, we around everywhere in Unpyeong, we try to build a learning space. And also citizens and residents, if they make the learning space, we support them financially. And to work with between disabled and non-disabled, we are supporting this kind of activity. And the law is changed, so the district has to build the lifelong learning center. So our concern is, so learning center, we have to change the learning center into lifelong learning center. So we just to simply designate it, we can simply solve the problem locally. And we have also Unsang project. So lifelong learning centers are usually directly run. However, Unpyeong, we delegated the management of this lifelong learning center to the Sangmyeon University, and we build a partnership and cooperation with the university. And also, there are various programs where students can directly participate in, and they really enjoy it. University students participate in this program, and they really like to work with the students. There are the two places. So these places work with the universities to promote life learning for citizens. However, there is the problem because the uncertainty of continuity due to private sector. And when it comes to district university matching, it is there is some difficulty, and accessibility it has kind of a problem. Accessibility and continuity are the things we have to address. To do so, we have to use the strength of Unpyeong, so that is the resident autonomous. To do so, we made the university for each town. And there is a university council is working with us, and each campus, each town has the campus. For example, Nopon campus, so there are 16 universities. So I'm the president of Unpyeong University, and there is the main campus. So learning is that there have been many programs. So Unpyeong, there is the learning center, learning hub, so where people can use the app. So we kind of provide the programs. So Ilhang is the connection. That means the connection. So we connect to every learning centers and hubs with the Ilhang. This is the content we are developing. Mayor Kim Il-kyung has really concerns. This is the re-election. However, Kim Il-kyung is the first time has become the mayor, so he is really doing well. We have lots of concerns, and we are in the same generation, so these concerns are kind of common. So later, we try to create more jobs, and we want to create more jobs related to lifelong learning in the future. So people in 50s, in 60s, the middle-aged people really need jobs. So related to lifelong learning, we try to create more and more jobs. So the university linked to one town. This is the promotion status. Residents kind of pitched in to connect the one university to their town. For example, so we did really the popular thing. So we declared carbon neutrality street. So this is the street carbon neutrality street for the first time in Korea. Residents made the carbon neutrality council, and students and residents and the community centers. This street is very peculiar, very unique. So the wellness centers are surrounded it. So around there are really many people live in this street, and public officials really use this street. We declare this street as a carbon neutrality street. So when we are on this street, we try to make efforts to revitalize it. So we declared for the first time the carbon neutrality street. So the Environmental Association and Shinhan Bank also participated in it. And the Environmental Association was really surprised that the Seoul National University Environment Graduate School helped this program, working with Nokbong-dong. And every town does unique things. And also, another town is working with the Nongyup University. There are Gusandong has lots of wellness facilities. Around 1,000 vulnerable people, the homeless people live in this facility. And the many vulnerable and homeless people live in these facilities. So smart farm and environment, it is very important things. Gusandong plays an important role in this field. That's why Gusandong signed an MOU with Nongyup University. And for example, Susek Town worked with the Air Force University, and Yeokcheon-dong it has to increase the social wellness, so it's working with the UIL University. And the Jungsang town had signed a partnership with the Seongshin Women's University. And Jungsan has its unique characteristic, and based on it, it pursued specialized programs. And there is a well-dying program working with Myeongji University. Many elderly residents live in this town. So how to die in a beautiful way. So this kind of lesson is taught to these people. What kind of things they have to do with their children while dying is the lesson they learn through this program. Eunpyeong kind of integrate the specialty of each town, working with the colleges and universities and strengthening learning ecosystem. So we are working for the lifelong learning. So 101 million learnings, we also enjoyed 100-fold. So one town, one university. So with this program, every resident in Unpyeong works together and to build a better city, better district. Thank you.
So the good practices and cases were presented by the mayor of Eunpyeong District. So we are going to have a last presentation, 10-minute presentation and 30-minute discussion will take place. So the topic is lifelong learning, enjoyed anytime, anywhere. Gwangmyeong City's lifelong learning super fun, presented by the mayor of Gwangmyeong City, Park Soo-kwang. Please welcome him with a round of applause. It's really nice to meet you. I understand that you must be very tired. I believe that there are the participants who are most tired. So Didier and Marielle and Alex and Sarah, all these people from abroad, from and yesterday 5 hour long the marathon the conference and also a discussion and 3 hours long the drive and came down to Buan and also now they are also have participated in this discussion. So for their hard work, please give them a round of applause for their wonderful participation and also their efforts. So last year, UNESCO UIL, the mayor is Buan Gun as well. They also attending and other leaders attending together last year. So it's really nice to meet you again. So I'm going to talk about the lifelong learning, super fun. If you feel really tired, you don't have to listen to it. Just look at the sea outside of the window. That would be way better in terms of healing and resting for you. So lifelong learning, enjoyed it anytime, anywhere. Gwangmyeong City's lifelong learning is super fun. Regarding that, I'd like to give you the brief explanation. Everybody knows about this. Why we carried out this? Let me explain the background behind that. In 2019, fourth round of the UNESCO Global Report on Adult Learning and Education, there is a right to learn for all with a long way to go, and also lifelong learning that for the universal rights. So anytime, anywhere, citizens should have we need to have a society where anybody as a citizen can access to lifelong learning. That's the declaration. That's something and that was included in the UNESCO Global Report. But in the local governments, I believe the lifelong related in services and facilities will be similar. So when I look at the history, after declaration of lifelong learning city as a Gwangmyeong City, 24 hours have passed. Years have passed. But my wife, the daughter of my mother-in-law, she never participated in lifelong programs. That's very amazing and surprising fact. So there's a kind of a reality check and awakening for me. We need to provide an opportunity to learn as a lifelong learning lessons for anybody and anywhere. So everybody, every citizen should enjoy it. We should not have a kind of imbalanced, learning opportunities. And also, this kind of things already just stipulated in our constitution. In our Constitution of the Republic of Korea, Article 1, all citizens shall have the right to receive education according to their ability equally. Based on that, we started the project to support the lifelong learning in our city. When we proceed with this projects, I really want to. I had a strong confidence, but there are two fears. First one is the financial shortage. Regarding the financial perspective, how much, how the citizens will agree on the spending that, and what about the council and parliament? What they're kind of in terms of support and agreement from them. It took 3 years to get the support from both sides. That much this project has underwent certain difficulties. In 2020, we have a discussion session and also online survey. After then, we were able to reach the consensus for the payment and the method. So 100 people had a kind of intensive discussion over that, and also 100 people kind of consisting of the committee. So we received all the consent agreement about this agenda, and then we proposed this on the parliament, but parliament rejected it. Why the city proposed it? Because we really want to carry it out for every citizen, but that requires a lot of a budget. So for those, I mean, average retirement age, 50. So for 50-year-old Gwangmyeong citizens facing challenges such as retirement, we really want to provide a second opportunity to design their life. So this lifelong learning fund is going to become a pump priming methods for their second life. However, Parliament said that why it should be the people for 40 years old. So this kind of opportunity should be provided to all the age the brackets. So regarding that, we have a discussion. We had a discussion courses, and then the Parliament made a decision that people above 20 years old, they are kind of subject to enjoy this kind of fund. So there are ups and downs, and this March ordinance was enforced. So right now we are providing this lifelong learning support fund. So before then, in order to make that happen, we already kind of receive the Social Security funding, and cash support has been blocked by the central government, so it's a little bit difficult to newly implement and enforce this. So we are receiving the application from the citizen and look at the people how they can spend. Most of them spend money on buying and purchasing books. So this fund is distributed to all those 50-year-old Gwangmyeong citizens. We provide each person with 300,000, so they can use for the lifelong learning, and also you can spend this for the other targeted learning programs, and also you can use this for the lifelong learning center under the universities. And also, it is available for other the area of this whole city, include but not all. 50+ centers are the something that you can spend money in fund, and also you can purchase books from the bookstore. So mostly, you can see that this fund has been used for purchasing books. We are going to kind of collect and survey how they can spend this money. We can get a certain tangible results when we have a survey. So we provide a card, and this will be charged with the money. So we can track down on the spending kind of behavior of the citizen. So this will provide opportunity for them to learn voluntarily. Also, they can enhance their capacity for the future society. So this is how we are going to run and carry out this lifelong learning funding. So this kind of a opportunity provides a new change and also pump priming effort to change their lives for the better future. I believe that many experts and scholars have been thinking about creating also nurturing the people who do the life learning. Our future society also should be filled with this kind of people. But what our city find is this method funding, but also there are various methods that we can nurture the lifelong learners. So I hope that all of you can join this effort to find how can nurture and grow the lifelong learners and lifelong learning feelings filled with the society. So in 2021, we have a international UNESCO lifelong conference in Yeonsu. In that conference, City for Health City, and also the global city should be equipped with a healthy the mindset through the lifelong learning. Based on the guide, our lifelong learning cities make certain practice. So 2 years later, we are supposed to kind of take a stock of what has been changing, what has been improved based on the kind of a guide and learning. So the Korean Association of Lifelong Cities was not able to prepare this kind of tracking and the reflection. We just look at the programs of the lifelong learning cities. We introduce and also share the practices of the lifelong learning cities in Korea. But there are certain agenda items include their programs for the health cities. I was able to understand that. So I understand that all this kind of participants from abroad expect something about this. But if there's something missing, please understand with your broad mind. Thank you for the understanding. Thank you very much. This is my presentation. Thank you very much, Mayor of Gangneung City. Now we're going to have a panel discussion. So we should finish this panel discussion by 6 o'clock on time. So please be punctual. So Ms. Chair is going to moderate this discussion. In a short period of time, we were able to listen to the 6 presentations for the 6 different lifelong learning cities. So I listened to 2 cases, and then there was a long discussion because we have participants from abroad. The first time they met this kind of a cities and city representatives, it's really difficult for them to understand the entire context. So that's why I provided summary and implications about the presentation. That's why it took a longer time in order to finish the first session. But our participants from abroad said that that time was worthy and reasonable. So now we have only 30 minutes left. So we are going to finish our panel discussion on time in 6 o'clock. So we have a panel presentations from the Eunpyeonggu City, Eunpyeonggu District and Gongju City, and Ansan City and Gangneung City. So I believe that the customized lifelong city, Sinaburo, slowly growing lifelong learning city, pursuing the learning. That's very much Korean style, unique concept. That is a Sinaburo, which is slow learning. So that cases were presented in the presentation by the Eunpyeonggu, Ansan City, and also Gongju City's lifelong learning.
eco-friendly city also. 그래서 굉장히 독특한
Very unique Gongju cases were also presented in the presentation. Very long but very new.
사례를 저희는 만날 수 있었습니다. 세 번째는 김미경 청장님의 일동 일대학 16 buildings campus collaborated with the Seoul Metropolitan University. 그래서 resource and the space fully utilizing very innovative case. 그래서 ESD로도 매우 유명한 곳이 은평입니다.
Eunpyeong is very famous for ESD.
주제가 Don't Eat Our Future.
There was a conference about ESD in the Eunpyeong district. Don't eat our future. Don't kill the future. So there were programs including this conference. Today, I believe that uniquely, we were able to listen to the cases of Eunpyeonggu district as well. And also, the one university for one community and Dong, they have a very unique learning ecosystem. So we call this as an ecosystem, this learning ecosystem. That unique model was presented by Eunpyeonggu district. And first GNLC and a first lifelong learning city, Gangneung presented various things. Yesterday, lifelong learning city that we can learn as a number one. And today we were able to learn about the learning voucher for the vulnerable group of people. So through that, this is scholarship for the all citizens. The system is called the scholarship for all citizens. This kind of lifelong funding is targeted to
도가 6개 정도
those 50 years old. I believe that Gangneung City started with a very practical and realistic perspective, and also their practice and capacity is very strong. So If you have any questions regarding these 4 presentations, please feel free to share with us. We have a participants from Kenya and Colombia, Hamburg. So I believe that they are here not just listening to this presentation, rather they can also share their opinions and questions. So please give us a question and then we can get a brief answer. And also as a special guest, we have a Professor Kwon In-tak from Jeonbuk University. He's also the chairman of the Korea Lifelong Education Academy. So we're going to listen to his comment later. And also we have also Mr. Didier Giroudin, also UNESCO, the head of the Global Health and Education. There is a French life learning city. So
UNESCO chair for the comment or some of the questions, please, for our learning cities specialized cases, please. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you to all of you for this incredibly interesting presentation. Just would like to answer to Mr. Mayor Won Mei-yong. We are tired, but happy. Very happy because all together we are the people who want to change the world to make it more sustainable, inclusive, and equitable through education. So how couldn't we be unhappy? Happy because we learned a lot with these 6 incredible experiences, and also happy to be in such a magnificent environment. So first of all, thanks a lot for giving us the opportunity to learn from you and to share a few ideas. My point of view is, of course, based on research and what we know from the practices of the cities. I just have one comment and one small question. The comment is that, in general, we say that to be able to build resilient cities, to prepare cities to the climate change, there's 5 characteristics. 5. The first one is what we call the ecology of knowledge. Ecology of knowledge, this is putting together formal knowledge, informal knowledge, having people from universities, schools, and also people from the field. You all do that. The second is to build all this educational initiative through the everyday life of the people, to root it in the everyday life in an innovative and creative way. All of you are doing that. The third criterion is empowerment. All of you have empowerment of all citizens as an objective, which is the key condition for sustainability. The fourth characteristic is inclusiveness. You cannot change the world if you left people behind. And all of you talked about vulnerability, poor people, disabled people, old people, foreigners, people having issues with literacy. And the fifth one is the equitable dimension, and especially what you did in your different cities with having learning centers everywhere. So I do not have anything to add to what you did, because for me, from the research point of view, the 5 characteristics are there. So my question now, you know, political science shows that to have such municipal policies to be sustainable, we need 4 characteristics. This is the policies themselves, this is the structures and the systems, this is the practices, and this is the human resources. This is very classical. So of course my question is about human resources. And this is a question for the 6 of you. What are you doing to attract the highly qualified workforce you need to run your initiatives? You probably know that at a global level, we have an incredible shortage of educators. What are you doing? How do you meet the challenge of the highly qualified human resources in every of your learning centers? Thanks a lot.
고맙습니다. 우리가 회복력이 강한 또 클라이밋 체인지에 대응하는
resilient, and also in order to respond to the climate change, we need to have a 6 characteristics: knowledge and practice and empowerment, and also for the vulnerable, the marginalized people, how we consider this. So the question is, yes, we can have a policy and practice and also human resources. Highly qualified person and manpower, human resources. How we nurture this. So that's the issue. So high quality workforce, in order to nurture them, what the learning cities are doing? Please answer this question.
우리 회장님께서 광명하면 딱 한마디로 어떤 질 높은 이런 교육자든
So how we can nurture this highly qualified personnel? So please briefly talk about that.
주신 것처럼 지속
As Didier mentioned, for the sustainability, we need to have the highly qualified human resources. That's very excellent and a meaningful comment. But in Korea, we have a life-learning expert officer. We have a specific certificate, and the instructor designated by the lifelong experts demand the central government to designate certificate licenses of lifelong experts. Even though that is not the case, local governments can continue to hire this kind of a lifelong expert so that we can have the human resource system that can be higher than the lifelong centers. In Gwangyang City, we have a lifelong experts association. They are activists. So we are continuously networking with them so that we can enhance their capacity. That's what we can do to nurture manpower.
nationally certified lifelong learning educators. This is certified by the nation. So the first and the second grade lifelong learning educator system. That's the point. Okay. 그리고 우리 시청장님. 글쎄 그렇긴 한데 한 가지만 그냥 말씀을 해주셔도 좋긴 한데 우리는 광주 서구까지만 하고 그 다음 질문들을 시장.
One by one, please leave a comment to answer the question. So eventually, so how to make those qualified people participate in lifelong learning cities, or how unqualified people can grow their capability? There are two things we have to think. So the community sense and the talent donation and resilience governance. With these policies, we want to recruit those qualified lifelong learning instructors. Or
we have invited two answers only. She mentioned about the upskilling and the reskilling of the educators. It is one of the solutions for the highly qualified workforce. Thank you. And yeah, okay, please. Second, okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the presentation, which were all really fascinating. There's something that has been playing on my mind over the course of the day. I think following the site visit this morning and then during these presentations, it's the idea of new, more flexible models for providing people with lifelong learning opportunities in an inclusive way. And the idea, which has come up, I think, several times, of dispatching teachers and educators out of schools, out of traditional education institutions, and into homes, retirement centres, community learning centres. I find this a really inspirational approach, one that I think enhances social inclusion, one that is focused on the holistic development of the individual. And I'm just reflecting on how that blurs the traditional boundaries between education, social work, care, and it's something that we don't really see in many parts of the world. So my question is, how have you reformed perhaps more traditional governance models where responsibilities for education would be very clearly divided between different entities, to come up with this more flexible model where you have different sectors working together, different groups of stakeholders, so that everything moves in a more holistic way. So I wonder if you have any reflections on how you've managed to achieve something which we have, as I've mentioned, I think is quite unparalleled. Thank you.
네, 네.
In a traditional and conventional the education, there's a space for education, and also educator and trainee or students are distinguished. But in a new life learning paradigm, and you look at that, sometimes you become the learner, but sometimes you become an educator in a different the venue. So each role can be changed, converted in the new life learning paradigm. So the private sector capacity, their voluntary mind can be created in this kind of concept. That's the key part of this kind of conversion or reform. As an administrator, we are looking at that. So Gwangju Seogu District Office also mentioned that they just remove this kind of barriers or compartment between the different departments of the district office. For example, climate crisis and environment, those things are only, their tasks only belong to the environment department or resource circulation. That has nothing to do with the Department of Education. But regarding the environment, we just call the teacher and then learn something. Rather, it's something that you need to experience and make it practice. So from the administration part, we need to remove the barriers between the two different departments, and also education space should be expanded to the entire city. So that's something that we need to take as a direction, an entire direction in the system.
And the borderless approach is the focusing and also the governance between the civil and the government and the local government all together. Beyond the education and the social welfare is also the integrated. Okay, thank you so much. And okay, Sarah, please.
Thank you for your presentations. It's inspiring how you have been implementing different activities in different settings, informal and informal, and also you go to the different communities, different ages, and you show also the challenges that you have as a society that is aging and how you are achieving this learning process. I'm really interested in the elements that mentioned earlier about the empowerment of the citizens and inclusiveness, because what you are doing also, it's a way to empower people. And I'm wondering about how the lifelong learning activities that you are doing in the different settings are creating a new generation of leaders, and how you are promoting leadership in those places where you go. Because in some cases, it's not just teaching people about new skills and to engage with the communities, it's also how you are creating a new generation that is critical, is reflecting about the process that we are facing as a society, and also is contributing into the solutions. So I want to know a little bit more about that. And if you allow me, a second question is that I saw many pictures of wonderful women participating in these spaces. And I was really happy, and I commented that yesterday with my peers, that I was really happy to have 2 mayors female here with us. But also, I see the challenge of male participation in many spaces. So that's my second question, how you are encouraging male participation in many of these lifelong learning spaces. So those are my questions to all of you. Thank you.
먼저 그 여성 관련된 부분에 대해서
Regarding the female, I believe that Korea we have a beyond the gender equality. Now I believe the women is superior system country. That's Korea, and also entire social structure and also atmosphere. Women are outperforming men. So that's something that we are facing as a change between change in terms of a power of the male and female. How we can nurture the leadership in our community. So through the lifelong learning, we believe that the nurturing leader is important, but also we have 17 different goals in SDG. So we need to emphasize, address those things through the day-to-day lives. As I told you in my presentation, we need to have a kind of change in our awareness and recognition, and also that will be translated into the behavior. So somebody who cover that will take the lead. But I don't think that we need to choose someone and nurture them. Those who really want to study further can have an opportunity, whether it is a health or another area. If you are interested in, so that you can make an effort, in that case, you can become a leader. But we are not going to, I'm not interested, I believe that lifelong cities does not have any kind of education, just focusing on the leadership nurturing.
And also the all citizens they are the leaders, not the only one leader systems. So, yeah. Yes.
저희들 뭐
So in the lifelong cities, nurture leader is, rather than that, we need to solve our local problems with the local community. During this solving process, we can naturally face new leaders. So programs for the young people and also programs for children or students. In that programs, we can naturally nurture the leaders. So it's not that we select and choose someone to become a leader, but in the process of solving our local issues, we are able to naturally training and growing certain leaders. So program itself just grow and nurture the leaders. You also mentioned about the female. We don't have many leaders and mayors, female mayors and leaders in the district and cities. So three mayor districts. Mayors in 3 districts out of 25 districts in Seoul metropolitan city. So we don't have many female leaders. So hope that more female leaders will enter the political area.
But anyway, the self-governed, self-designed, and the self-directed leaders is the point of our Learning Cities leader group. Okay, and we have only the 4 minutes from now. 4분밖에 남지 않아서.
Since we have 4 minutes left, so 1
minute for the our friend Kenya, and 1 minute for the professor. Okay, 4분 남았어요 시간이. 그래서 okay, yeah.
Mine is not a question, just to thank all the mayors for the good presentations and to commend them for the good work that they are putting in place for the benefit of all the community members. I have learned a lot, and I'm going to take some of the learnings to my country, particularly to the county that I represent, the capital of Kenya, Nairobi City County, and I hope that we can learn from your good practices. Thank you.
예, 케냐에서 어제 굉장히 좋은 사례를 발표해 주셨는데
Kenya provided very good best practices. Later we can share that among them. So she said she learned a lot from this presentation. So case studies of this mayor's presentation.
I'm not sure if I have 1 minute to conclude or 1 minute to summarize, but I would also like to really thank all the mayors for their really interesting, fascinating presentation, but also for taking the time to dive a little bit deeper into the intricacies of ecosystems within lifelong learning at the local level. We heard so much about some of the spatial dimensions and the great variety of learning that can take place in local areas, whether in community centers, in schools, and all the different lifelong learning centers we heard about. So the efforts from all of the cities here today who presented are I think most of these, all of them, we can take home with us, share back with all of the Global Network members, and we are very lucky to witness firsthand this type of dedication. So thank you so much for sharing.
네, 감사합니다. 코멘트를 해주셔.
She provided summary as well as a comment, as well as she presented the significance of today's conference. Now we're going to turn to the Mayor Park.
뷰티풀 보이스가 아니고 이렇게 묵직한 이야기.
I cannot speak as eloquently as Professor Chen Xiu, and I served as a consultant for lifelong learning. So hire the lifelong learning educator as a public officer. So I really prepared a lot of messages. So today, mayors really delivered wonderful presentations, and they talked about universal education. However, you have to also think of the creating jobs. First of all, the history of 23 years to grow up people. So to develop them as the interim leaders, so they can serve as facilitators. So they can manage lifelong learning, such as literacy and monitoring, and proposing programs, proposing policies. So you have to develop interim managers, and you have to pay them for their work, and you have to provide opportunity for them to develop their capabilities. And also you can use volunteers. You can let retired people work as volunteers. And universities have advanced lifelong learning courses. And your mayor's remarks are really in line with the university lifelong learning centers. I wrote the paper. The university have to open. So it should the certification and diploma system have to be eliminated. So companies can request the 10-month training for their employees. And after that, so first hiring and requesting from the companies, the universities can train those manpower personnel. And university have many qualified people, and you can give them the 100 million for salary. So universities have to change. So the agency can create jobs. This is the most important system, I believe, and I really deliver lectures about it. I tell the instructors and professors that major is not important. So the administration, town, village centers, this is run by the resident council. These campuses, under the laws, these centers should be designated as universities, and it should be run as universities. So local the government, so I can propose the policy for you if you ask me. So I would like to wrap up my remarks.
Professor Kwon, thank you very much for your remarks. Let me summarize. Everything is really important, but the political will of the city mayor is really important. That's very important. Second is the citizen leading governance is important. Volunteer governance led by citizens is very important. Third thing is the job creation. Learning-oriented job creation is important. That's very important element. And also the other one is that you can look at the global trend. Climate crisis. Climate action is the next year's theme. And also global citizenship education. And also health and well-being are the two important pillars. So we need to go ahead, one step ahead of this kind of themes, and then Korea can take the lead. And last thing is that we need to go beyond rhetoric. We need to focus on implementation and practice. So once again, I felt the importance of these. So in alignment with the global trend, our lifelong cities will take a lead, and all these mayors and the head of these districts make a presentation in alignment with those kind of trends. So with that, I'd like to congratulate on the achievements of the mayors, and let me conclude this forum. And we need to move to the dinner place by taking a bus. So let me give you the housekeeping announcement for that. After we take the photo, and then we're going to move to the dinner place.